Special thanks to Mr. Padmanabhan sir, known as the Papan Bhai from Kerala, for inviting me for this program. My lovable thanks to the mentor of the CA fraternity in Kerala, CA Ramdas sir, and his wife Mrs. Ramdas, and his entire family, Ms. Shilpa and Sajan, who has made their presence here for attending this program. I also thank the regional council members, the leaders of the Southern India Regional Council of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, and our president, Mr. Amit, and our chairman of the SIRC for being here, present here, in his, giving his valuable time for the students. My dear friends, when the invitation came to me for Honor Kings program, I immediately accepted because it was an invitation from Mr. Papan Bhai. And I also accepted because Trissur is the place where this global summit is held. Trissur is definitely a global location. This Trissur has a great ancient wisdom. It's a land where the cultural renaissance started in Kerala. Trissur is not only a place which is very strategic to Kerala, it is a location which was strategic to Southeast Asia. And it was an important location for global diplomacy. My dear friends, Kerala is known as the God's own country. But for Trissur, it would not have been known. Because the gateway to Guruvayurappa temple, our Lord Krishna, is through Trissur. And Trissur is a very important location for Lord Shiva. And not only that, we have Trissur Puram festival, which is well known around the world, which is an important soft power integrating the global population of India on the cultural aspects and richness of the Kerala. And you are in this place, and I am very happy to have the auditor of the Guruvayurappa temple, Mr. Ramdas sir, being here, blessing us like Lord Krishna. My dear friends, in 1947, we got independence. Not to construct roads, not to construct bridges, not just for the purpose of sake of getting independence. We got independence in 1947 to ensure that every person is able to live up to the confidence in this country, with a self-confidence, the tremendous self-confidence in the country. We got independence because we are the Indian culture always said every human being has the potential to express the divinity. And to express that divinity, we got independence in 1947. Unfortunately, we did not know the value of independence. My dear friends, today, India was poor from 1947 almost up to 2013, 2012, 2011. Not because we did not have money, not because we did not have intelligence, not because we did not have the capacity to grow, but because we did not have the vision for the country. My dear friends, today Indians are everywhere. You go to Uganda, I travel often to Uganda, I travel to some of the European countries, I travel to some of the South Asian countries like Japan and all this, Singapore and Malaysia. In any airport, in any flight, a flight will not take off without an Indian being there. That is the pride of India, my dear friends. In that, especially, the land of Kerala has got a huge NRI base in the country. If you go to UAE, United Arab Emirates, or any of the GCC country, out of 10 I meet, nearly 6 are from Kerala, is my own understanding of the Kerala people. My dear friends, this summit is called the Global Summit in Trissur because Trissur is an important location for the global attraction of tourism. Some of the best elephants, the Gajaraja we call in Indian culture, is from Trissur. The best of the festival is celebrated for the elephants in the world. My dear friends, nowhere in the world animals are celebrated. It is only in the Indian land. Not only the humanity is respected, not only Indian land is said every human being is divine. We also celebrate for the animals, and elephant is an important element of Trissur. You are coming from this land. You also should understand, when there was an inequality that was showering in the country, when the inequalities were there around the world, not only in India, in 1900s, we had a great scholar from this land, Mr. Narayana Guru, who was a social reformer, who was a poet, who was a philanthropist, who said inequality is a sin, and he brought equality among the people. And this land has produced that pointers, my dear friends. The Kerala is really global, and this global summit sets that agenda for you. My dear friends, the Kerala is a God's own country for a simple reason. Every person living in Kerala has the attribute of God, and that has to be expressed by you all. Sabrimala, one of the great places of attraction for temple, is the icon. Lord Ayyappa is an icon for today, for giving a lot of power to the youth in the country. So many people travel from abroad to visit Lord Ayyappa. The Magara Jyoti is still a mystery, even by the scientists who are not able to find how it happens. That's a miracle of land of Kerala, my dear friends. From here, you are beginning the journey as a cost and management accountant. My dear friends, you are in a very, very important time of the country. Your opportunities are bountiful. You have a tremendous potential, but you need to have the power to understand your potential. My dear friends, from 2014, I am closely working with the government of India. In Tamil Nadu, if you open any television channel, you will find me not less than 5 channels in a week I address to the people, public. I wear 3 important hats in my life from 2014. I wear a hat of addressing to the industry leaders. I address to the government officials. I also take care of the academic circles. Almost in the past 5 years, there was no Sunday and Saturday for me. But why I'm saying this is because we are in an important situation in the country where India is emerging as a bright spot of the world. And it is a bright spot because the bright youth population of this country. And you are part of the development story of the world. My dear friends, if Japan uplifts, if America goes up, it is only America which goes up. If Germany goes up, it's only the Germany which goes up. But if India goes up, the entire world goes up. It lifts the entire humanity. And here, out of 130 crore population, we have 80 crore population who are youth population who have the potential to transform the country. The role of Kerala in Bharat Renaissance, in regeneration of the country, is going to be very high because the culture is here, the potential is there, skill of the people is there. And accordingly, you should first understand India, what it is. My dear friends, from your school syllabus, whatever the history you read, whether it is a state syllabus or central syllabus, is absolutely wrong. The geography is what you read, because of the climate change, is absolutely wrong. The amount of theory you read, none of them you remember. You never knew the background of mathematics. You never knew who invented zero. You never knew what is the astronomical facts of the scientific facts of this nation. Without knowing the nation, you qualified. I feel pity for the people who got centum in history from Kerala and also any part of India. I am making a clear point today. Your history of the syllabus provided by the government of India as well as the state of Kerala is absolutely wrong. I can come and challenge in any court of law because the history was not written by Indians. History was written by Britishers. To know the pride of this nation, you should travel. Before I introduce India, let me tell you what I did. I was working in KPMG and I qualified my chartered accountancy, cost accountancy, company secretaryship and law degree. Post that I recently qualified with the mentorship of Mr. Ravi Shankar, who addressed you, my CMA qualification as well. Beyond all these things, I was never satisfied with my job. I was growing very fast, but I was never satisfied with my job because I never knew what is this country. My dear friends, I used to travel on a Saturday, Sunday. Mr. Ramdas sir might know, when I was working in the earlier organization, I used to come on a Saturday to address in Trissur. I love Ramdas sir because he not only educates me about the values, but he used to tell the richness of Trissur. So this kind of people around my country, the mentors, used to talk about the richness of the places. I have documented every aspect, cultural aspect, economic aspect and political aspect from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, wherever I visited. In 2014, when the government called me for some advisory work, when that particular minister and the bureaucrat called me for an MSCB reform, within half an hour I told what has to be done in Tinsukia, what has to be done in Trissur, what has to be done in Coimbatore, what has to be done in Sangagiri, what has to be done in Karur, what has to be done in Kannur. That is kind of a control I have on the country. And I know the economic profile of the country in the fingertip. For this, I traveled around the country, leaving my job to know the essence of this country. Today, my success is not because of the books what I read. It's not because of the professional qualification I did. It's because of traveling across the nation, knowing the villages of this country. Now let me introduce the country to you. My dear friends, this country has 130 crore population. As I told you, 80% is a youth population. In 2014, when Honorable Prime Minister took over the government of India, he had various challenges. The challenges were multifold. One, the GDP growth was not doing well. Two, the inflation was very high, about 10.6%. The amount of money you were paying for buying pulses, the amount that you are paying for eating food was really high at that point of time. And the third important thing is, people who had money had access to the bank. People who did not have money never had access to the bank. When a poor man wanted to go and get loan from the bank, he was denied to enter the bank. But from 2014 onwards, a lot of reforms has taken place. In every other reform of the government, I was an opinion maker in the state of Tamil Nadu. That is the reason I have the in-depth knowledge which I wanted to share to you. My dear friends, in 2014, an important campaign which was launched was the Make in India. Many of the students were thinking Make in India is a reform brought for the purpose of promoting FDI. It is absolutely wrong. A common man may have a misunderstanding about the government. Cost accountants and cost accounting students should not be guided by the media. I am going to give you a second important fact. The media channels which are producing the news is a fake news, manipulated news, and if you read the news, please understand who is running that paper. If you watch a television, please look at the television, who is running the television. The most of the news what you see in the television is absolutely wrong. You have to use your independent knowledge to analyze whether the government is performing, what kind of reforms are happening in the country. When I checked recently before the budget, almost 60% of FDI, foreign direct investment, has increased because of Make in India. If 60% of FDI increases, that means so much of employment opportunities are created for the youth of this country. Second important thing, let me give one industry and prove you how Make in India has become more successful. My dear friends, mobiles which were manufactured up to 2014, it may be called Made in India. It is made in India, but it is all the parts are from China. My dear friends, there were only 2 mobile manufacturing companies in 2014 and accessory manufacturing. Presently, 298 companies are there manufacturing all the products of the mobile in India, and today India is exporting mobile to other countries. This is the transformation Make in India has brought. Like this, there are 26 sectors where Make in India has attracted. From the defense to healthcare to biomedical devices, everywhere Make in India is transforming. Immediately when I talk about Make in India, you will say Make in India is not applicable to village. My dear friends, today there was a woman from Madurai who manufactured thermoplast vessels, which was purchased by the government, by the Prime Minister office, and this woman started up the company only in 2015. As she started, the government brought an important platform called Electronic Government that is GEM portal, Government E-Marketplace, where that woman who got loan from the bank, the thermoplastic, flask which she sold, she uploaded that in the government website. Prime Minister got that flask and it was sold to the Prime Minister office. Recently when the Prime Minister came to Madurai, that woman was honored by the Prime Minister. Today, Make in India is also happening in the village. I told you only one example. I will prove you how Make in India is happening in a very wonderful way. My dear friends, important thing you should note. From 1947 onwards, if you look at Mahatma Gandhi always said and spoke about Swarajya. He spoke about Gram Swarajya. He spoke about village development. And even Deen Dayal Upadhyaya, who spoke from Cochin, one of his great lectures, Deen Dayal Upadhyaya is the mentor for the Honorable Prime Minister, where he has also stressed about the village development. If you go back and check whether it is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, whether it is Narayana Guru, or whether it is great leader, everybody said the life of India lies in the village. But what happened from 1947? Because of the socialist ideas, we did not bring the village development. We instead focused on Russian model of development. Because of that, we established PSUs. The urbanization happened. Never the rural was empowered. My dear friends, in India, we have 6 lakh villages in the country. We have 6 lakh villages. The 6 lakh villages is the lifeline of the country. And India lives in its villages. To empower this, most important thing is funds should be available. When I am from a village near Chennai, whenever village people went to the bank, bankers never gave money to them. They said there is no loan for you. And what happened? They were not able to start up their own. They went to the local finance people. They used to get private finance. When they used to get private finance, the rate of percentage would be 300% or 400%. And because of this, they were denied the finance, and Make in India was not happening in village industries. My dear friends, from 2015 onwards, my Professor Kanaka Sabapathy from Coimbatore, who is from PSC Institute of Management, was called by the Honorable Prime Minister, and he took advices from Professor Kanaka Sabapathy about MSME reform, the research report what he did. Then he said to the Prime Minister that 93.5% of employment opportunity is created by MSME in the country. Only 7% of employment opportunity is created by large companies and corporates in this country. The driving force of the economy is MSME. And Honorable Prime Minister took this, the Government of India took this issue, and they brought an important reform, that is the Mudra, Micro Units Refinance Development Agency. My dear friends, under Mudra, it has funded now about 15 crore entrepreneurs in the country. 15 crore entrepreneurs in the country without security and without collateral. When a poor man walks into the bank now, the bankers are inviting him, making him to sit, and they provide loan from 50,000 rupees to 10 lakh without any security, with a single form, my dear friends. How much money was given as a loan under this for 15 crore people? 7 lakh 50,000 crores. 7 lakh 50,000 crores are funded to 15 crore entrepreneurs who are first time entrepreneurs. I am very proud to say it should be an happy news to the entire human fraternity. 76% of the loan who availed are women in this country. My dear friends, women are not empowered. Country is now transforming because of women. It is not women development. It is women-led development now in the country because of 76% of the people in that 15 crore people. Village level industries are now blossoming. This is the real success of Make in India. Second important reform, which you should know, your profession is going to get affected. My profession is going to get affected, is Digital India. My dear friends, why chartered accountants were surviving? Why company secretaries and cost accountants were surviving and thriving? Is because of the professional competence. Beyond that, it is also complexity of the law. Beyond that, it's a complexity of law. One is the professional competence of the professionals, but it is a complexity of law, the confusion in the law. If you see, now government in most of the places is digitizing all the records. The returns what you file in the GST, the income tax return what you file. Earlier you have to go to the income tax and file the return. Now the single form is emerging in the IT income tax. It is because of Digital India. You should know what is the base of Digital India. Just the way when you construct a home, when you construct a house, you need to lay a foundation. For digital India also, Government of India laid digital infrastructure. My dear friends, in 2013, hardly 400 kilometers where the digital high-speed optical fiber was laid in the country. Today, in 2019, nearly 3,20,000 kilometers high-speed optical cables are laid across the nation, connecting nearly 3 lakh villages in the country. And for example, earlier when you went to Kannur, earlier when you went from Trissur to Calicut, most of the time your mobile will not work. It will be in a no service mode. But today, if you travel, your mobiles are in 4G connection. It is because of the high-speed network provided by the Government of India partnering with the state government. State government also has a role to play in the development of the infrastructure. And we have to appreciate even the Kerala government has taken it very seriously and they have developed the high-speed networks in the country. And the most important thing is that JAM Trinity. Many of them may not know under Digital India, JAM is going to transform the nation. Today, out of 130 crore population, in 2013, only 20% of the people were covered under banking channel. Only 20% of the population were in the banks. They had a bank account. Today, I am proud to say, when the poor were denied before bank accounts, today 34 crore poor people are given free bank accounts for whom the subsidy, the government schemes are now directly credited by the Government of India, which is a great transformation through Jan-Dhan. Two important thing is Aadhaar. Today out of 130 crore population, 120 crore population have Aadhaar card in the country. My dear friends, the 10 crore probably maybe a just born baby who will come shortly into the Aadhaar. Aadhaar is an important tool for providing identity of the people in the country. Not only that, it provides identity and dignity of the individual, and which is a very important reform because for every scheme of the government, you have to quote Aadhaar card. I'm sure some of my friends here would have got some of the benefits from the Government of India, like Ayushman Bharat, insurance scheme, Fasal Bima Yojana. All this is identified with the Aadhaar card. Aadhaar card is the first primary number today for the citizen in the country. The third important thing that is transforming the nation is the mobile connection. My dear friends, today a poor man today is not worried about the food what he gets. He is worried about the mobile model what comes in the market. And he is buying the mobile not because the mobile is able to call the people. Mobile acts as a TV, mobile acts as a communication medium, mobile makes him to know the politics of the country, mobile makes him to know the economics of the country, mobile can transform his life. That is the reason poor people, instead of buying big televisions, they buy mobiles now. That's the kind of a technology we have, and today the smartphone in the country is going to be accounted for. Out of 130 crore population, 50 crore population have smartphones in the country. This is called JAM Trinity. It is all because of the government's effort and people's understanding. For that, National Digital Literacy Mission was brought by the Honorable Prime Minister and also the Government of India, that particular department. This is an important structure for development of the village. Why? In 1991, when liberalization, privatization and globalization happened, it was an opportunity for the MNC company, that is multinational company, because at that time the distribution channels were very, very important. But today in 2019, it is an opportunity for MSME, because let's assume for a minute you are very good in producing a product, handicraft product in Kerala, in Trissur. That product you need not send it to the distributor. You just have to take a photograph in your mobile and go to Flipkart or Amazon or e-GEM portal, government e-marketplace portal, upload the photograph. And if you upload the photograph on the platform, the entire world can see your product. And this is a unique opportunity in the e-commerce era. My dear friends, that is the reason I told you, 1991 was an opportunity for MNC company. But now, 2019 is an opportunity for MSME company in the country. If your product is good, people will search on the internet and capture your product. If your product is the best, the entire world is the market because the internet platform provides you that affordable access to the market. My dear friends, this is the transformation that the world is undergoing. This is the Jam Trinity and the most important thing for the village development. My dear friends, in 2012, the previous government was thinking about closing the post office. I don't know how many of them know. When a post office, when people are not writing letter, but post office was having a great asset called Post Office Saving Bank. Many people in the school days, 8th standard, 9th standard, there used to be one Post Office Saving Bank form which you will fill and the school will give you 10 marks for that. Simple form to fill. This is an important banking channel for rural India. A rural village may not have a bank, but every village was connected to a post office. My dear friends, in 2014, the government of India took the decision to make it as India Post Payments Bank. Out of 6 lakh villages in the country today, 1,38,750 post offices are connecting 6 lakh villages. My dear friends, a great opportunity today for the e-commerce business. You order a product in Flipkart, you order a product in Amazon, you get the product in your doorstep. In a village, the same thing is going to happen because of 2 things. One, India Post Payment Bank and the speed post of the post office. Now what is going to happen is, let's assume in village, I produce a product. My dear friends, you go to Flipkart, put cow dung. Today cow dung is available in Flipkart. And this is a product of not city, it is a product of rural India. My dear friend, this is medicinal value. Cow dung has a medicinal value and that is being sold now in the Flipkart. My dear friends, this village industry, for cow dung can be sold. Think about if you bring out new products, it can be sold. My dear friends, in India, we have 130 unique textile weaves in the country. We are all wearing jeans, we are all wearing the western clothes. But in India, we have great cultural, unique 130 weaves. For example, if you go to Kanjipuram, you have the best of the silk sarees in the world. If you go to Banaras, if you go to Surat, you get the best of the textiles. If you go to Tirupur, you get the best of the knitwear. These are all near the village places, which are empowering the village people. These products can be now traded. In some McKinsey and BCG and Government of India are projecting from 2020 onwards, 65% of e-commerce business will come from rural India. 65% of e-commerce business will come from rural India. My dear friends, a simple example is your Fab India. Go to airports, you will find Fab India. That shop is selling kurtas. That shop is selling products like organic. That shop is selling a lot of native products of India. If you see, they are sold for 1,300 or 1,400. But I am very happy Fab India has taken it up because the rural India is empowered. The rural India who did not have the access to market, Fab India sells that in the international Delhi airport. Fab India sells that in the Bombay airport. And this transformation is very, very important. Many students ask me, sir, how to get Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan? Many people are achieving. My dear friends, to get Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan, you need not do complicated things in life. You need not send rockets in life. For getting award from the government, you just have to do small things in a bigger way. And this is a solution for you. If you work with rural India, if you are able to provide 1,000 employment, 2,000 people employment, and you are able to transform the tribal, Government of India today recognizes this effort. In Coimbatore, there is an old woman who is teaching yoga for free for 30 years. You won't believe, we identified her. Our group, some of the people, we notified this to the government. My dear friends, the Padma Shri Award came knocking at the door from the Prime Minister's office to that woman in Coimbatore. Today, Padma Shris are not got through bank credit. When I say bank credit, earlier people are paying to get credit. That's what the sources say. But today, the Padma Shri Awards and Padma Bhushans are going to the common man because of Digital India. I being in Chennai, if I know somebody is doing good job in Trissur, I will identify and write to the Prime Minister, or I will write to the group which is posting to the Prime Minister. They are giving the grassroots information. Without being there aware, they are getting Padma Shri and Padma Bhushans, my dear friends. This is a great transformation the country is undergoing because of Digital India. The fourth important thing is Skill India. In fact, morning the president was talking about it, some of the guests were talking about it. They were saying many people are now qualifying cost accountancy. I see many students qualify. When they come for the interview, they don't have the basic knowledge of how to file a return. They know everything. They know Black-Scholes formula. Mr. Ravi Shankar will accept. He is into the teaching. They know Black-Scholes formula. They know valuation. They know the bond valuation. They know brand valuation. But if you ask them a basic question on how to file a return, they don't know. If you basically ask a question on cost audit, they don't know. If you ask which section is under cost audit, they don't know. They don't know what is the role of a cost auditor, they don't know. But still qualified. Now the point is, everybody gets educational qualification, but they are not skilled. My dear friends, in 20th century, especially in this century, if you say I've got rank 1 in Cost Accounting Institute, yes, it is good. That is not permanent. That plan is not permanent. If you say you are a triple qualified, does not matter. If you say you are a SEMA UK, does not matter. The corporate will say, do you know how to pass the entry? The corporate will ask you, do you know how to prepare a financial statement? This is the question they are going to ask you. My dear friends, your qualification is very important. Your skill is even more important. Without skill, you cannot prosper. My dear friend, the Skill India was brought not for chartered accountant, not only for chartered accountant, cost accountant. It was also brought for engineer. Today, the path examination of engineering course, I will tell you. I went to one of the renowned engineering college in Coimbatore. Then I found I was interacting with the electrical electronic engineer. And I asked that electrical electronic engineer, first I interacted with the mechanical engineer. First, when I interacted, I asked him, you are going in a bike, your bike stops, what will you do? He said, I will take my mobile, call mechanical engineer, call mechanic. He is an automobile engineer, but he will call mechanic. Then the second batch I addressed is electrical electronic engineer. Then I asked him a simple question. In your home, there is a tube light which goes fuse. What will you do? He said, I will call electrician. He is an electrical engineer. The third is very interesting, civil engineer. I was interacting with a civil engineer. I asked him, in your home, you wanted to construct a small tank, a 2x3 tank. What will you do? He said, I will call the mason. Then I asked, what is your job? Only planning. I said, planning is done by robots nowadays. Morning I saw an article, my dear friends. In 2015, we are expecting robots to marry human beings. And people are happy, they've written an article. It was quoted in one of the important paper. Because with robo, there is no complication. Because it lacked as per the plan and wishes of the partner. That is what it says, that article says. This is the where the technology is moving. And skill is a very, very important aspect which are now debated in the World Economic Forum and all the global agenda. That is the reason Honorable Prime Minister in the he established the Skill Development Ministry for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, under which today more than 1 crore youths are trained in this country as per the statistics provided in the budget, union budget, interim budget 2019. This is a transformational thing, my dear friends. The fifth important thing is the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. I will give you this case study and I will tell you how the India is transforming. My dear friends, those days, 1990s and 2000, when you wanted to get a gas connection, you should go and approach the local MLA or local MP so that he will recommend for a gas connection. But today, 6 crore women have got the gas connection, my dear friends. You may say, how India is transforming because of gas connection. If you are saying that, that means you don't know the real India. Today, if you go to rural India, many women will be cooking with the woods, charcoal. You know what is the problem if they cook in a charcoal? 1 hour if they cook in a charcoal and a wood, it is equal to smoking 400 cigarettes, my dear friend. If a woman cooks for 1 hour in the charcoal and the wood, it is equal to smoking 400 cigarettes as per the statistics. Today, if that woman is provided a gas connection, she not only is saved from cancer or other lung-related issues, but she is also saved and she gets the hygiene at home. Today, 6 crore women have got free gas connection in this country. In another 6 months to 1 year, government is targeting another 2 crore, which amounts to 8 crore women, my dear friends. When I say 8 crore women, it is 8 crore families. This is what is India all about. My dear friends, you are all thinking Trissur, Cochin and Coimbatore, Chennai, Delhi and Mumbai is India. My dear friends, out of 130 crore population, nearly 85 crore population live in rural India. My dear friends, 85 crore people live in rural India. Your education system, including your cost accountancy, including my chartered accountancy, including all the top courses which we have done, is catering the urban India. It is not catering the rural India. The Black-Scholes model, what you read, the valuation, what you read, the IFRS, what you read, it's all for what? It's all for urban India. Show me one education in this country, top cream education which is focusing on rural development. It is not there. My dear friends, when you have 85 crore people in the rural India, when there is a huge opportunity to transform, why are you not thinking about that segment? It's a call from Trissur, from Global Summit. It's a call to the entire nation of where we have CMAs. Your focus for the next 5 years, from today onwards, should be on sustainable development of this country. That is the rural India, and it is possible. Second important problem with the accountants. Most of the time, accountants are not innovators. Accountants only see debit and credit. Why can't it be even innovator? Why can't you think out of box? Today I told you, Jandan account is 34 crore Jandan account. There is a mobile connection of 50 crore. There is a Aadhaar card of 120 crore. It is a great financial inclusion plan of the government of India. Why can't you think about developing solution for MSME finance? Why can't you think about what kind of digital platforms you can bring in? My dear friends, in Gujarat, there was one fellow called Vaibhav Gupta, who is a chartered accountant, who developed an MSME platform in capital world. And he was called by the government of India. And SIDBI, the Small Industries and Development Bank of India, invested in his capital with a consortium of bank. One idea of the chartered accountant has given a lifetime opportunity of nearly 22 crores, my dear friends. One idea. That platform is now taken by the government. It's called PSB loans, PSB bank loans in 59 minutes. This is the platform which is provided. Why can't you become an innovator being an accountant? Work and think about it. In the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, there is a program called Agricultural Business Management, which is one of the top cream in the country. When IIM graduates can do ABM course, why can't you, being a management accountant, being a transformation force of this nation, especially set up under the Act of Parliament, take the responsibility of transforming 6 lakh villages in the country? This is my call to the entire community of cost accountants from Trissur. I am sure the Cost Accountants Institute will vouch in 2021 what I said today. You cannot believe and work in urban area because robotic and cognitive and automation is replacing the job of the accountant also. If you go to Dubai, I'm sure in Kerala, every home you have somebody in UAE. Please go and check with the people who are there in Dubai. In Dubai, they have implemented blockchain technology, which is now knocking at the intermediary. Accountants, lawyers are going to lose job. My dear friends, when the blockchain is going to be implemented, definitely the accountants have the opportunity to transform the rural India. In a way, if you are not getting job in urban areas, better you will turn up to the rural area. Many people said automation and robotics is a sin to the problem to the humanity. I was the only one across the nation saying it is a good thing to the humanity because they will also see the opportunity in the rural India. I want the president of ICMAI and all the leadership of the ICMAI to take up this sustainable development goals, the 17 goals identified by the United Nations as an important syllabus for the students, because today the government of India, which has replaced the planning board, that is planning commission, into Niti Aayog, is adopting the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal for each ministry, whether it is Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, Mudra or any campaign of the government. with 17 goals of the United Nations, my dear friends. And this is where country is transforming. Earlier, before 2018, because of the aggressive credit growth in the country, 58 lakh crores were given as a loan, not to the poor people, but to the rich people, crony capitalism. My dear friends, today it is aggregating for up to 11 lakh crores NPA. Rich people who got the loan flew away the country. But poor people went on paying the loan, selling their land, selling their gold. This country requires the credit structuring, where the role of the cost accountants and company secretary and chartered accountant comes into picture. Especially, cost accountants are very, very important. Cost is required in bank, cost efficiency is required in the bank, cost efficiency is required in the manufacturing industry, cost efficiency is required in IT industry. Even if the robotic is going to come, costing element will remain. You will never lose the job, but your opportunities will be in a different location, different platforms. This is my vision. Even in the government, I don't know how many of them know, some of the top public sector undertakings in the country is led by the CMAs who are qualified from the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. I am very happy to note the Honorable Vice President Venkaiah Naidu, in one of the meetings, has given ad hoc approval to the Institute of Cost Accountants of India to adopt the name Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of India. Recently, I saw the news. It's a step in the right direction where the government is transforming. This is the entire essence, my dear friends. Before we conclude, let me tell you, this land is going to provide a lot of opportunities to you. Entire world is looking at India. Many people believe Facebook is an innovation by Mark Zuckerberg. Not many know that Facebook is not an innovation of Mark Zuckerberg. It's an inspiration by Baba Neem Karoli from Himalayas. My dear friends, when Mark Zuckerberg was looking at how to innovate, he went and met Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs said, my dear Mark, please go to India. There is one Baba called Baba Neem Karoli in Himalayas. He will bless you. After that you start your business, it will become successful. Mark Zuckerberg came to Himalayas, met Baba Neem Karoli. And Baba Neem Karoli said to Mark Zuckerberg, integrate people to technology. And exactly Mark Zuckerberg opened up Facebook, integrated people today. And the brain of the transformation comes from India. Steve Jobs came to Himalayas. My dear friends, why am I saying this? When the West is coming to India, we are looking at the West. We have some of the rich culture of this nation. We have to feel pride about it. Let's sweat, let's work, and understanding the culture of India. Before I conclude, let me also address the issues of the youth before. This is the transformation. I spoke about the opportunity, I spoke about the culture, which is going to be helpful for you. But today the problem of the youth does not have an ideal. The youth are considered to be providing demographic dividend in this country. But I am worried, I am also cautious that it should not become demographic catastrophe because the youths are not having direction. When I am saying that you don't have an opportunity in urban area, today evening you should think how to empower the rural India. But this direction has to be provided, but which is lacking as of now. If the youth are not transformed, you not only become the burden for the country, you will become burden for the entire world. That's very, very important. So we need to have an ideal. This year marks the year of 125th year celebration of Swami Vivekananda's Chicago address. This is a very, very important year to understand. A young monk from India, a young Hindu monk from India, who was highly educated. His father was a lawyer in West Bengal, Kolkata. He travels across he was a qualified graduate from a presidency college in Kolkata, Swami Vivekananda, when he was Narendra Datta. And this man had a great quest and had a thirst for spirituality of this nation. He meets Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and then he gets the entire ideas of Vedanta and Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita and everything. And he would have gone to Himalayas. But Swami Vivekananda travels 22,000 kilometers in India and gets the spirit of India. And then he comes back to Tamil Nadu, he goes to Rameshwaram, meets the Bhaskara Sethupathi Raja, and then from there he goes to Kanyakumari, meditates on the nation's regeneration, my dear friends. Nation's regeneration. You're all youth today. You're asking your parents, where will I get a job? You're blaming your parents for the education. You are blaming the teachers for the education. You are not even taking responsibility on your shoulders. But there is a youth called Swami Vivekananda who renunciated his life for the higher things in life, for regeneration of this country. He meditated in Kanyakumari. While he meditated, he thought about the Chicago address. He goes to America with no introduction. Meets Henry Wright of Harvard University. My dear friends, he met Henry Wright of Harvard University professor. He was so impressed with Swami Vivekananda, he takes him and introduces him to the World Religion of Parliament. Exactly 125 years before, Swami Vivekananda spoke in September 11, 1893 in the World Religion of Parliament. Today the entire world is fractured because of religious divide. Swami Vivekananda gave solution in 1893. He said, my dear brothers and sisters of America, before him Zoroastrians were sitting, before him Muslims were sitting, before him Christians were sitting, before him different Hinduism people were sitting, but Parsis were sitting. But he said, the world is not moving, world should not accept tolerance, it should bring acceptance of all the harmony of religion. That was his message. Today, that message of Swami Vivekananda, even now, it is relevant for the entire global harmony. My dear friends, not many know, Swami Vivekananda was the inspirer for Jamshedji Tata. Swami Vivekananda, when he was traveling to Japan, he met Jamshedji Tata and he says to Jamshedji Tata, Tata, you are a great industrialist. Why are you not thinking about opening a research institute in India? And Jamshedji Tata comes back to Bangalore, opens Indian Institute of Science. I am very happy our chairman of the SIRC conducted the SIRC regional conference in the Indian Institute of Science, which was ignited by Swami Vivekananda. The credit goes to the SIRC this year. It's the right place to be chosen for the blossoming the Indian national spirit. And this is a contribution by Swami Vivekananda's ideas to Jamshedji Tata. And that IASC produced Homi Baba, who went on to establish Baba Atomic Research Center, which played a major role during Atal Bihari Vajpayee period, Bharat Ratna Atal Bihari Vajpayee period, where Bharat Ratna APJ Abdul Kalam, during the Pokhran, the great support came from Baba Atomic Research Center, because of Pokhran blast, which we did in Rajasthan, India became superpower in the world. Today, India has become superpower. It is because of the inspiration provided by Swami Vivekananda to Jamshedji Tata, because of which IAC came, because of which Homi Baba came, because of that Baba Atomic Research Center came, and because of that India became a superpower. And this message has to go into your mind, my dear friends. Swami Vivekananda was not just a spiritual giant from Asia who spoke about Vedas and Upanishads. Swami Vivekananda was a great inspirer to Rockefeller in America. Rockefeller was an industrialist, was so selfish. When he met Swami Vivekananda, he became a philanthropist. My dear friends, Max Miller was a follower of Swami Vivekananda. The Roma Rolla was a Nobel laureate as a follower of Swami Vivekananda. And Swami Vivekananda has inspired great monks and His Holiness Dalai Lama, whom I met personally on interview. These are the people. Swami Vivekananda has inspired Mahatma Gandhi, who got freedom for India. Please understand, Mahatma Gandhi got freedom in the non-violence movement. Mahatma Gandhi not only got the freedom for India, Mahatma Gandhi inspired Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela got freedom for Africa. For African freedom movement also, Swami Vivekananda gave the inspiration. Because of Africa and India followed non-violence, 63 other countries followed non-violence. 63 countries got liberated because of the idea of Swami Vivekananda, my dear friends, which was ignited with Mahatma Gandhi. And not only Swami Vivekananda ignited Mahatma Gandhi, he also ignited Subhash Chandra Bose, one of the great freedom fighters of this nation. In fact, I would say he played an important role. So Subhash Chandra Bose was supposed to become a monk in Ramakrishna mission under Brahmananda. But Swami Brahmananda said, you need not become a monk, your work is on the freedom struggle. And Subhash Chandra Bose goes with empty hand through Afghanistan, meets Hitler, and brings back 80,000 army through Manipur, Imphal, my dear friends. And he gave a clarion call to the Delhi, Chalo Delhi. And in 1945 itself he declared Azad Hind. The national anthem today, Jana Gana Mana, which was brought by Rabindranath Tagore, was inspired by Subhash Chandra Bose, which was first sung in Madanapalli in Andhra Pradesh. That was the inspiration Swami Vivekananda provided. And to know India, Rabindranath Tagore said, please read Swami Vivekananda. This is the inspiration Swamiji provided. You go and check any great leaders, in their pocket, Swami Vivekananda will be there. Why did I give this inspiration to you? The youth today is lacking ideal. We are all looking at political news. We are ruining our life. You should know what is the reality. The reality check will not be given by anybody. My dear friends, you are educated. If you don't know the reality, how will the uneducated know the reality? Educated should go and educate the uneducated. That is the essence of our Vedas and Upanishads and philosophy and Bhagavad Gita. My dear friends, when the Britishers used to search the freedom fighters, they used to find two important books in the pockets of the freedom fighters. One is the Bhagavad Gita, other is the Swami Vivekananda's Call to the Nation. They found in everybody's pocket, and you know why India got independence. It's because of the ignition program by Swami Vivekananda. Not only that, in 1897, Swami Vivekananda said, exactly within 15 years, we will get independence. He said, keep all the God away. Just pray on Bharat Mata. We will get independence in 1947. Subhash Chandra Bose prayed on Bharat Mata and used to meditate on the lion's heart. And Subhash Chandra Bose, exactly because of him, and of course with Mahatma Gandhi, we got independence within 50 years when Swami Vivekananda told in 1897, in 1947. Aurobindo Ghosh, who was fighting against the British, became a spiritual giant of India. He came to Pondicherry. He became Maharishi Aurobindo. He said in 1920s that India will get independence exactly on 15th August 1947, and we got independence. Aurobindo Ghosh has predicted in Aurobindo Ashram. You can go and check the records. Aurobindo Ghosh, Maharishi Aurobindo has also said 2020 is an important year for India in his records. And India is emerging as an important location for the entire world in 2020 because of the youth population, my dear friends. And Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, when he was interviewed in Germany, they asked him, if you liberate India, what kind of a model of governance you will bring? Netaji said, I will bring benevolent dictatorship. He said benevolent dictatorship. And my dear friends, benevolent dictatorship is nothing but democracy with majority government. And exactly that is happening now from the 2014 onwards. And exactly India is going to emerge as a new India by 2022. Before I conclude, the last message which I wanted to give you. Now the Indian government is speaking about New India. The New India was defined by Swami Vivekananda in 1897. Then we got Swami Vivekananda's New India. And you will understand, even now the New India is valid. The definition given by Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda said, let New India arise out of the peasant's cottage, grasping the plough. Peasant's cottage is the cottage industry. Grasping the plough out of the huts of the fisherman, the cobbler, the sweeper. Let her spring from the grocer's shop, from the besides the oven of the fritter seller. Let her emanate from the factory, from marts, from markets. Let her emerge from groves and forest, from hills and mountains. My dear friends, if you break the definition of Swami Vivekananda's New India, it is MSME of India, which is now empowered by the government through various reforms brought through GST and MSME reforms brought by the government. My dear friends, think about the vision Swami Vivekananda had. You should become an idealist like Swami Vivekananda. And this is the clarion call for me. Without an ideal, you can never become successful. Today, we don't respect our parents, we don't respect our grandparents, we don't respect our teachers. Without respecting, what are you going to do? By respecting, you are going to achieve many things. Why can't you think about the value system which is there in India? Do not get moved by the Western thoughts. My dear friend, Trissur is a very important global hub. Don't forget, Trissur also was invaded by the invaders. Trissur also was invaded by the invaders because of the rich culture here that is prevailing. That's the essence which I wanted to convey. There's a clarion call. Swami Vivekananda said, whoever gets educated at the cost of the country, goes to the other land to work, is a traitor. I am saying, anybody who doesn't respect this culture and who changes their name to the Western names and invaders' name is a traitor of my country who don't respect my motherland. If you don't respect the motherland, it is equal to not respecting your mother. If you respect your motherland, you will respect your mother, you will respect the mother. So that is the kind motherland, that is the kind of inspiration that you should get, and this inspiration should go into your mind. So this is the message which I wanted to give you, and definitely we as one family has to raise. This is nothing but Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam as per our Hindu culture. and Indian culture and Indian land has given that to you. Aham Brahmasmi. And the entire world was looking at what is humanity all about. Our Indian literature said, you are the God is within you, the divinity is within you. That's a kind of a value system. Our Indian culture, our dharma of this land has, and you have to understand this value of this place. My dear friends, this is the message I wanted to give on the global harmony. Today, United Nations talks about peace conferences, peace. But as per our Indian culture, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti was here, which was the peace mantra of the entire world. And this has to go into your mind. UNESCO was inspired by Swami Vivekananda's idea. How many of them know? Today UNESCO is a very important organization in the world. But the basic idea came from Ramakrishna Mission. The entire law of UNESCO was brought from the Ramakrishna Mission, and Ramakrishna Mission was awarded by the UNESCO. This is the message I wanted to give. My dear friends, this is the call for you all, so that you live your life without fearless, you live your life without fear and boldness, with the self-confidence for which we got independence. Do not get flattered by the fear and the Western fancies. Arise awake, stop not till the goal is reached. The goal of every individual is to first to take care of the individual. We all talk about nation development, nation development. No, if 130 crore population take care of themselves, automatically every family is taken care. When every family is taken care, in Trissur, Trissur is taken care. And Calicut is taken care, Trissur is taken care, every location is taken care, Kerala is taken care. If Kerala is taken care, Tamil Nadu is taken care, entire nation is taken care. The message is, transform individuals to transform the nation. You cannot transform the nation to transform individual. So every individual should become a contributor than consumer. This is the message which I wanted to give, and this will stand forever from this location. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. If you have any questions, I am ready to take up. I have 10 more minutes or 5 more minutes. I can take up questions from you. It can be on anything. I try to touch upon the culture, I try to touch upon the government changes and the professional opportunities. It can be on anything. Silence, please. Silence. Is there anybody who have a question? Please give the mic. You have a question? Yeah. Please ask the question.
My name is Kannan from Trissur.
Yeah.
Government has built a statue for 5,000 crores.
Correct. Correct.
Why can't we invest in agriculture? This is my question.
My question to you: what is your idea of how much money is needed for developing agriculture in India?
Sir, I don't know exact amount.
If you don't know, please research and come back.
Sir, but it will be helpful for agriculture.
Just 1 second. How many villages it will be helpful?
Sir?
How many villages it will be helpful?
But from this amount we can cover more than
Okay, you are absolutely valid. Let me answer you. I'm not supporting the statue. I'm not, it's not about not supporting or supporting. Let me tell you. Today, lot of foreigners are coming to Trissur. Why they are coming? Because they are coming to visit Guruvayurappa. Now those days when the king constructed the Guruvayurappa temple, definitely people like him would have asked, why Guruvayurappa temple? It can be spent for the agriculture. But today, it has become a tourism place where the entire world knows about Trissur. Do you all agree? Yes. Sometimes our pride is very important to attract the entire world. So for a pride, 5,000 is okay. You should have asked some other question. From 1947, what happened to the corrupt money? That is amounting to 60 lakh crore. My dear friends, that is amounting to 60 lakh crore, conservative number. By IIM Professor Vaidyanathan. Maximum amount that is expected is 90 lakh crore. What is the number you are speaking about? 5,000 crore, right? The total money which has become corrupt in this nation from 1947, which has gone abroad, is 90, not 90 lakhs, not 90 crores, 90 lakh crore. If 19 lakh crore is there, means our India's loan is 70 lakh crore. If now it is 80 lakh crore. From 90 lakh crore to minus 80 lakh crore, 10 lakh crore is surplus. We can develop 6 lakh villages. What happened to that money? So, to ever talk wrong about the pride, I am telling you today, if Kerala constructs 100 feet statue for Narayana Guru, it is a statue of equality of the entire world, which the world will look upon. That is very important. Let's work for earning. Let you work for you earning and paying taxes to the government. And let you see the pride of this nation going up. Let's take the responsibility of earning. Let's not ask the government to do everything. Yes, agriculturalist has to be given importance. That's the reason in the present budget, 12 crore people, the government of India is crediting 6,000 rupees directly through Jan Dhan account. I am not saying it's enough. It is the step in the right direction. It's step in the right direction, but it is not the end of the problem of the agriculturalist. There are multiple problems. I want you, absolutely right question by Mr. Kannan. Your name is Kannan, right? Absolutely right question. I was very bold enough to answer him because he has come forward to ask this question. Everybody is having that question in your mind. This inspiration is important. Otherwise, how will you know the reality? Just because some papers write with a political ideology, any ideology I am talking about. It's not B party, EC party or A party or D party. I don't believe in anything. Did you research? Is my question. Did you know independently? Is my question. For Kerala, we need not teach it. People are very, very intelligent, I am telling you. You have to see the intelligence, go to UAE and check GCC country. How Kerala people are working hard. And that is the spirit of Kerala. And please, research independently. Even you should not believe on my facts. You should go and check. That's my humble request. If you go and check my mudra numbers are wrong, you can call me and tell me. If you go and check my black money numbers which I gave on 90 lakh crore is wrong, you can call and tell me. Show me one paper which talks about 90 lakh crore. I have a data with me. I am in this field for 24/7, dedicating, interacting with the industry, academia and government. And that is the reason I am able to put across these points with the full proof arguments. So 5,000 is important. Today, if the government of India, the state of Kerala, declares 100 feet statue for Narayana Guru, I will be the first person to appreciate the government. Thank you. Is there any other question? One more question? Thank you to Padmanabhan sir. I have to thank him for this opportunity. In fact, I was just discussing with Aditya Vivek in the morning, a student. He was saying he gave some idea to one of the persons in institute. They did not consider. Later, that idea was put forth by Vivek to Mr. Vivek, who is now working, he is a qualified cost accountant, working in Sundaram Clinton. He gave that idea to Padmanabhan sir. Padmanabhan sir told to present that idea in a convocation ceremony of institute. I think these kind of platforms has to be provided for the youth if we really concerned about the youth of this nation. And I am very happy Kannan being here. Padmanabhan sir encouraging him on the platform. You youth should understand this real empowerment. It is just not youth empowerment. Youth-led development is important in this country, for which the platforms are available in the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your highly motivating session. It was really an honor to us. And we'd like to request to come on the stage CMA Karthika Ramakrishnan, the treasurer, and CMA Jyoti Satish, CMA Vijay Lakshmi, and CMA PVS Jagan Mohan Rao.
Immediately after this program, they were listening to you. After that, they would like to leave. and for the entertainment, a cinematic dance also they are providing to show their talent in cultural India also. So we, the organizers, have the privilege of having your presence here, and we request, like you told, any leader in this world who is successful will definitely have Swami Vivekananda's book in his pocket, and one person who is walking with the blood, breathe and the entire life for Swami Vivekananda is sitting next to you, none other than Dr. P.V.S. Jagannath Rao sir, President SAFA. He is a living Swami Vivekananda for the youth movement. Luckily we are having his presence here. May we request our beloved, respected Jagannath Rao sir to bless this youth icon, the present day generation Swami Vivekananda sitting next to you. A shawl in the form of the Kerala style. Please sir, honor our Sathya Kumar sir with a shawl. Give a very big hand to Sathya Kumar sir. Yes, thank you. And Sathya Kumar sir, there is another leader among us. He has proved in his pocket is always having CM that Swami Vivekananda book. That is none other than the beloved darling of Trissur, Manas Kumar Thakur. He is very much here. Please come out with that and show that book to the world with the Sathya Kumar Bhai. Be there. Now let us have the privilege of honoring our Sathya Kumar sir. You are telling about animal being respected, elephants being respected. That is Trissur Puram. This global summit also has become a Puram. Very good. That much of the they have done. And our beloved treasurer, Trissur Control First Accountant of India, the future of our profession as a leader, Kartika Ramakrishnan is there. She would like to present you for a remembrance of Kerala, which you will definitely enjoy. Please give to Sathya madam. She will hand over that memento to Sathya Kumar sir. So thank you very much. On behalf of the organizers, I request the dignitaries to please be seated on the front row and enjoy the because that students 20 numbers, they have to leave after their performance to write the examination post lunch. And organizers quickly arrange the tiles. Another woman leader from Trissur. She has won the recent election in the Regional Council of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And our two presidents are going to honor her with a shawl. And thanks to Jojo John Chungar, the Honorable Secretary of the Trissur Chapter, First Accountant of India, who